Welcome back, part 2. So, as I was saying, that outer aiming for, target. Yeah, I just aimed it and I did a quantum jump. So, I manifested that I needed my partner to leave the room so I could do this video. So, yeah, I did that jump quite quickly. But let's get to the cards because they're saying cards, which are all upside down. So this is part 2 of the Blue Moon song. So yeah, songs. That's the Lemurian me. I know that's the Lemurian past life in me. And twin flame telepathy and that. I know that. When you've been on this journey as long as I have, there's many more that's been on it longer. You start to understand what things mean. It all makes sense. Like this morning, I was doing a Lemurian meditation with my seed crystal. I've not got it here, beautiful crystal. I wanted to go through the portal again, because when my nervous system is unbalanced, my emotions get a bit unbalanced. Well, a lot unbalanced. I had to find ways to balance that, so nature, going out for walks, grounding. But one of these ways also is meditation and, finding that peace during my meditation. In my Lemurian past life, I do a lot of meditations, of Lemuria, and with my seed crystal, and this card here, stepping through. So during this meditation this morning, wow, this card here as well. Okay, speaking today. Before the meditation, I was lacking a bit of my life force energy, because the nervous system's shot, feeling a bit ungrounded, and I'm missing home, So when you are not of this world, and you come from the stars, you are stardust, and you've had many past lives, you can long for home. So I was longing to go through the portal, stepping through, it says there, yeah. I stepped through the portal again this morning with using with meditating with my Lemurian seed, master crystal. And I know that's my way home, I know that's my plug into my life force energy. When I step through this portal, I'm plugging into this life force energy of my Lemurian aspect, that's retained to me. And instantly I started to calm down, and my nervous system started to recalibrate and calm down and balance. And stepping through this portal, I was right back in Lemuria. So I was swimming with the dolphins, I was under the ocean, I was seeing colour, a luminous colour like this, dolphins under the ocean. I was embodying that energy of my Lemurian aspect, that remembrance, what's retained to me. I was back there. I was in Lemuria, beautiful place, rainbows, dolphins, whales, colour, natural life force energy you can plug into. Yeah, like the foam avatar. It's exactly like that. Yeah. When I stepped through this, I was back home, and I needed that this morning. Yeah, really needed it, to calm my emotions. and to plug into that life force energy so I can carry on doing what I came here for, you know, to be vulnerable in doing what I'm doing, what I came here to do. Say that when you're drunk. That'd be a chance to be a bad thing. I can't drink these days neither since waking up, but that's not a bad thing. So that's also good for your nervous system, you know. No alcohol, no toxins. Yeah, it's all, you know, it all helps to enhance our life force energy when we stay away from these lower density foods, drinks. Yeah, but vulnerability, yeah. Me stepping through this portal this morning after hearing the Blue Moon song coming through, knowing that I was going to be doing a reading. I could see that timeline, this timeline coming, that I was going to come online and do this reading, and it's going to be Lemurians coming through. My aspect of my Lemurian. Me stepping through this portal, you know, then has calmed my nervous system down and balanced myself out again and plugged me into that life force energy. And, you know, it's allowed me to be vulnerable and speak of how I plug into my life force energy and this portal that I can go through at any time, and so can you. By the way, not just me, this portal is open to all of us. The same with the seed crystals, you know, that the information coded into these crystals, that then reboots our DNA. So that's how it happened for me. Then that then reboots my remembrance of my past life in Lemuria, and more came back this morning of my time there, you know, and the more I see of it, the more I just want to go back there, to be quite honest. Yeah, that's the vulnerable side to me. I'm here to bring that vulnerability out in others because of how vulnerable I am about sharing my story and my past lives. So yeah, these crystals, beautiful, beautiful crystals. And yeah, crystals, you know, when you get crystals, you can step into different dimensions and portals. So the Merkaba, Lemurians use this, you know, to what's the word? Transcend into different dimensions. Yeah. When I've worked with this crystal, I've seen it at the like the main temple of Lemuria. Where we'd go to harness, you know, our energy. I've seen it like that. It's hard to explain to people in the human sense. When you go through these portals, you know, stepping through, yeah, this has got Merkaba on. Also, look, just noticed. Star of David. I'm going to read a little bit about that, because there's a reason why, you know, Merkaba, I was drawn to picking the Merkaba up this morning, and this card coming out is no coincidence. And me saying I'm stepping through the portal and the card stepping through came out. No coincidence, you know. There's messages in here. So, stepping through. Yeah, and they like me to hold the cards up while I speak. So, follow your heart. Dream big. Stepping through something that has been holding you back. Yeah. What's been holding us back? This blue moon in Sagittarius, the archer, aiming that arrow. It's us, you know, stepping through this portal of what's been holding us back. And we're going to aim now. We're going to aim for what we want. what we see for ourselves, you know, whether that's abundance, whether that's relationship. You know, once you pull that arrow and you aim, and you're aiming for what you envision, you know, your life to be. Being the creator of your own life, you know, we are capable of that. And so it says here, so something that has been holding you back, so taking these cards, because like I've said before, if you've not caught my channel, these cards are activating. They'll activate remembrance in you. They're very, very powerful. And yeah, the threshold, starting new projects, self-belief. It is all possible. The road less travelled. Trust. Yeah, trust where you're aiming that arrow. What I've just been saying. You have to trust. It's already happened. Say to yourself, what I envision has already happened. And then vision it. That's very, very powerful. Bringing that vision. You know, seeing it happen. Feeling also, they're saying, feel the joy that you're going to feel when this happens for you. So step in and step up all those dreams or projects you have been putting off. Now is the time to start, even if it is just one small element of the bigger picture. Yeah, I've been putting off 2 projects. I've been putting off getting my hair cut also. But I've been putting off, yeah, 2 projects. And I know why. Because it's fear of the unknown, you know. So they're my boundaries. I've still got boundaries holding me back, you know. That wrecking ball's not smashed through that wall fully. Done a lot of smashing through bricks, but that wall's yet to fully come down, you know. So these 2 projects, I know I will then get that life force energy back when I plug into this energetic portal of the blue moon, and I use this portal to my benefit, you know. I don't just let it go by and sit in the unbalanced nervous system, and no, I do the work and I work with this energy, and that's going to bring in the energy for me to move on, you know, into these projects that I've been putting off. So yeah, we will. So it says here, so now is the time to start, even if it is a small element of the bigger picture. Yeah, little stepping stones, you know. Like when you first stone into a pond, well, it creates a little ripple. So that ripple's going to get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, you know. Yeah, and then it's going to expand. So it's about expansion. Expansion, yeah, and I wrote expansion down. So I wrote, so this blue moon, how can we use this energetic portal for our ascension and expansion? Yeah. So when you start something, talk about it, take consistent steps to actualize it, and you will see it take a momentum of its own. So what you speak, you create. What you think, you create. So as within, so without. Your inner world creates your outer world. So that vision, that feeling, being in that mood of, yes, like it's happened, like, you know, feeling the joy and feeling what you feel like, you know, when that thing happens. Yeah, we are the creators. Nobody else creates for us. We create our life on earth, as within, so without, as above, so below, so below. Yeah, I'm all upside down today. It's the energies. Can't help it. It's just the powerful. So yeah, they say the right people, places and opportunities will magnetise, and it will start to come together. yeah, I've seen a really, so with me being vulnerable and coming online and sharing my story of 8 years, hard work, you know, healing, up against it, yeah, up against that wall, brick by brick, you know, that Whitney Houston song also, step by step, brick by brick, yeah, that's this journey, is this journey still. But me being vulnerable and speaking about this journey and helping others, which was always the divine plan, I can see now, you know, then makes that momentum, you know, you pick up momentum. I'm picking up speed now, you know, since Firehorse energy, another big energetic portal we went through. But could see that this timeline coming, you know, back in 2025, I spoke about all my readings, back in 2025, I knew the Firehorse was that momentum I was going to pick up, and I did. And the momentum was to come online and to share the story and to be more vulnerable, you know, in a world that vulnerability can be seen as a weakness. I found it a strength. What's more empowering than being vulnerable to help others? I found it a strength, and I won't hide my vulnerability now. You know, that's me being that wrecking ball, pushing boundaries all the way. So the right people, places, opportunities will magnetise, and it will start to come together. Yeah, I've seen my manifestations, you know. I also picked up this crystal. So pyrite, fool's gold. Yeah, I've seen my manifestations coming through. I've seen my thoughts and my visions come true. I knew I was going to go to Mary Magdalene Cave in France a few months before I did. That oracle in me, you know, that's just one of my fractals, my Mary Magdalene Rose fractal that's retained. That oracle, that high priestess. Could see that coming, and it did. A few months later, I was in that cave. Catch that reading as I speak of it, and then catch the readings and the videos I've released on me being in the cave. Because I could see that timeline, you know, and I visioned it also, manifested it by working with, you know, these beautiful, gifted stones. So yeah, don't be afraid to fail. The success we see around us has come from perseverance. Yeah, you need perseverance. You need determination. You need strength in spades, you know. You need yeah, you need vulnerability. You've got to be vulnerable, because by being vulnerable, you then show others how to be vulnerable. And you know, when you're vulnerable, you're opening up to the real you. You know, you're not hiding parts of you. No, when you're vulnerable, you're not hiding those parts of you. So me being open about my Lemurian past life, I would never have done that a few years back in fear of what people would think. You know, to be like, what's she all about? Lemuria, past life? Never heard of it. Well, yeah, there's many speaking of it, you know, because they're being vulnerable to speak of these portals that we're stepping through. Yeah, the portals that we're stepping through. And when we're bringing that remembrance back, you know, whether that's working with crystals or doing past life meditations, these are portals that we're stepping through to bring that remembrance back of our past lives and our gifts, you know, and we're bringing them back for humanity, what very much needs it at this time. So yeah, they say focus your energies and commit to seeing your vision become a reality. Key. It's already done. You know, when you're in that arrow, just say to yourself, it is done. And I've done this many, many times, and my manifestations are getting stronger. So you are human, so set reasonable expectations and know that when you apply yourself, you can make amazing things happen. Building a dream can seem overwhelming, but if you break it down and make a plan, you will gracefully find a way through. Yeah. So these projects I've been holding off. That's that human in me, you know, because, yeah, although I've got these gifts and got very powerful spiritual gifts, no doubt about it. I know how powerful my gifts are, and other light workers and light seeds can see the gifts, you know. I also know I'm human, so there is certain restrictions that we put on ourselves as a human, you know, that programming. But that's that wrecking ball, and that's that knowing of I am also soul, so I'm human and divine. So I have to find that balance, you know. I can't just walk around saying I'm divine, and I'm all soul. No, I'm in a human vessel, but I have these divine gifts inside of me, and this remembrance that's retained to me of my soul gifts. So I have to find that balance, you know. That's where the grounding comes in. So you need to ground into earth, but you can also have that connection to heaven, you know. So with the two, so it's about that balance. So yeah, this blue moon, rare blue moon that I can't even pronounce for some reason, yeah, it's that arrow. Aim for what you want, you know. And yes, know that you're human, and there's gonna be boundaries and there's gonna be things put in our way, but don't let that hold you back. This is what this energy is for. Just because we're human does not mean we have to be held back of our dreams and our aspirations and our goals. And when you come into the knowing of you, all these gifts inside of you, and you are divine, and you are the creator of your reality, of your dreams coming true, it's a switches the game up, you know, because that power, you know, that's been holding you back, and that control and that suppression doesn't really have its grip on you anymore, because you know that you create what you think, what your inner world creates your outer world. So yeah, well, Marian's wanted to get that message across. I'm going to leave it there because it's 23 minutes. I'm going to come on and read the rest of the automatic writing. Then, you know, my readings, and I'm not your typical scroll past TikTok. Just not meant to. I'm not meant to do readings that way. What comes through, and that's the authenticity, and that's the vulnerability of my channel, and it will reach who it's meant to reach, and it's growing now, you know. And I also remember people saying, oh no, do them quicker. No, people won't stick around, and you know, they haven't got time for that. The people that are meant to find it will find it, and the people that haven't got time for it won't find it. So I put my trust and faith in what my spirit team's channeling, you know. So yeah, just the innocence, that card there, yeah, beautiful cards. Yeah, beyond the mind. Yeah, awakened awareness. Yeah, when you start to awaken, spiritually awake, you're aware of what's being hidden, and stepping through those portals, whether they're through crystals, whether through cards, whether through meditation, that awareness becomes clear, you know, like glass. You can see through things that you've not seen through before. And you also see that you can work with these powerful portals, these blue moons, and yeah, you know that. Use it to your advantage. So part 3 coming up soon.